This is The Weekly on ClickOrlando.com with Justin Warmoth.
Good morning, I'm Justin Warmoth. Last week, the Florida Department of Economic Opportunity announced the state is cutting off the $300 federal unemployment supplement on June 26th, hoping to address the labor shortage impacting several industries. We'll discuss the change with News 6 investigator Mike Holfeld coming up. But first, here's his latest report on the situation.
There is hope on the horizon. 400,000 jobs are out there.
Call it the DEO's call to arms for Florida's unemployed.
We want to help them find those jobs.
According to Florida Insight, there are more than 460,000 jobs that have been advertised. The top 10 job openings alone stand at 110,000 positions. The federal jobless benefits lapse on June 26, so the state wants to make sure no one lets the calendar pass them by.
One day they're going to wake up and they're not going to have the unemployment benefits. And if they haven't been prudent in searching for a job, they're not going to have income.
To motivate Floridians still collecting unemployment benefits, the Department of Economic Opportunity is launching a Return to Work initiative. DEO Director Dane Eagle.
Starting June 1, they will be required to search for work and report that to us in order to continue collecting unemployment.
With vaccines available, the employment landscape is quickly changing. Employers are hiring again. Now, when you file for your weeks, you need to show proof of applying for 5 jobs, 3 in rural areas.
We're also going to allow the employers on the other end to report to us if people are showing up to those interviews, they are showing up to jobs. So there is teeth in that, but really what it is just we want to make sure that people are up on their feet.
In terms of getting people back to work, it's a competitive landscape out there.
Bankrate.com senior economic analyst Mark Hamrick says Central Florida's job market may see potential employees shopping for the best benefits and paycheck.
That means for many workers who have the appropriate skills, this economy is your oyster.
Mike, it's a difficult situation for business owners, for folks who are on unemployment. Let's just step back. And when the governor made this announcement, it kind of took some people by surprise, correct?
That was a curveball. In fact, when I had interviewed Dane Eagle, the DEO director, we were looking at Labor Day. And then all of a sudden it's June 26th. So everyone, if you were planning for Labor Day to continue getting that $300 from the Biden administration, that was great news. But I have to say, in talking to Dane Eagle, the whole idea, whether it was Labor Day or before, is to motivate people to start looking for work. So what happens now is when you file for unemployment, you have to indicate that you're looking for 5 jobs, depending on where you live, 5, or in some rural areas, it would be 3 jobs. Or you have to demonstrate that you're looking for job training. You need to establish that. Not to be mean, not to go after you, just to get you to transition, because the benefits will run out, as Dane said in the piece.
We see help wanted signs, hiring signs, some businesses even offering incentives just to attract some workers because it's such a dire situation and now it's summer. I mean, we're seeing a lot of travel at the airport, a lot of people coming here. I mean, it's a situation that they need people to work and they're doing all they can. And this is just one of those ways to push them. And I know everyone's situation is different.
Yes.
That's the challenge with this.
It is. I mean, listen, they're going to jack up the money a little bit, but is it a 40-hour week? Are there benefits? And then the wild card in all of this, yes, people are being vaccinated, but a lot of them may not be. There's been a resistance. Roughly 49% in the United States are still on the fence there. They're not doing it. So if you're working at an airport, listen, I've talked to people at the airports, I've talked to nurses recently that say, I'm still not getting it. I'm still not sure. I want more data. So that's the wild card in this economic landscape that none of us in our lifetime thought we'd be facing.
Right.
If I work, is the money going to be enough? Can I support my family? And is my health at risk? That's the wild card in all this. Some people are not getting vaccinated. Absolutely. And so the people that are looking at the work are saying, should I take the risk? That's what the governor's facing. That's why they're trying to motivate people to start looking for work, because the benefits will run out.
And we did get some promising unemployment numbers this week, dropping to 406,000 claims, and that is a low point for the pandemic. So more people are going back to work. It's not a problem here in Central Florida. It's a problem across the country, but in a tourism-driven economy like we have here, with an influx of people coming here and more people on the way, that's where the issue comes. And I know that Congressman Darren Soto had an op-ed in the Sentinel where he said, quote, that the shortage is not a lack of people willing to work. His take It's a lack of folks willing to continue to work at these wages that are at the poverty level. And so that's the challenge, is that they go and apply and they see what that pay is, and they're saying, no, that does not make sense for my situation.
I've known the congressman for 22 years, and we agree on a lot of things, and that's one of them. In fact, I just heard from Chief of Staff for State Senator Linda Stewart, Dana Rutledge, who said they're hearing from constituents saying they go to the job interviews, but when they hear what the money is, they can't take it. And so a lot of them, it's not like they don't want to just hold on to those benefits. They want the job that they had before that paid more so they can support their family. So that's a new dilemma. That's a new angle that I had not heard before, and that's something we'll look into on Make Ends Meet.
So basically the job that they were maybe let go
Yes.
from initially, that job is not available.
Not yet.
Not yet,
Yeah.
anyway. So they're just waiting that out.
And the other problem is with these mom and pop places, because of the pandemic, they tried to survive, they held on as long as they could, and now it's gone. So the whole job landscape, what jobs are out there, it's all evolving, it's all changing. So it's a challenge for all of us.
You know, $275 a week, I know that across the board is not at the level of a lot of states. We're at the bottom when it comes to unemployment benefits, but we often do keep the unemployment numbers low. And, you know, we see Chipotle, they're able to raise their minimum wage to $15 an hour. It's not necessarily a problem for them, but as you mentioned, the mom and pop stores and places like that, little restaurants here and there that can't hire their staff back, and they also can't pay $15 an hour at this point. They just simply can't.
No, and it's not 40 hours a week, and 15 is, my hat's off to them, that's attractive.
Yeah.
But is that a 40-hour-a-week job with benefits? And there's a lot of people that don't want to work in a job like that.
Yeah.
In fact, you know, you and I were talking in the newsroom, floridajobs.org, we checked it right now, as of April, 461,858 advertised occupations. Number one, I mean, some may be surprised, some not, 20,000 job openings, more than 20,000 for registered nurses. And then when I went down the list, this is just the top 10, folks. Sales reps, 15,000. Retail sales, 15,000. Security guards, 5,800. Medical assistants, 5,300. Software developers, 5,200. And in the middle there are waiters, waitresses, and cooks. You know, so
I think
there's demand.
It looks like, I think just from us and outside, you know, we all go to restaurants and we need to eat. And so we see those job openings, we see the impact that it's having, but it's really, as you mentioned, I mean, nurses, number one. It's something that we don't necessarily see on an everyday basis, so that's why.
I was surprised,
Yeah.
I really was. With more than 20,000 openings advertised and no takers. I mean, that's unnerving. There's a demand for jobs here, but there's no one to fill them. So that's why the governor is trying to motivate them to start looking for work. The jobs are there. A lot of them are good paying jobs. You just have to take advantage of it.
And Florida's not the only state to do this. I mean, we're kind of behind.
Right. We
when
were
it
the
comes
24th, as I recall.
Yeah, we're
right?
about 24 states have done this and ended that federal supplement on top of the unemployment benefits. So, and I think you did the math on what the current with the $575 a week.
Right, roughly $14 an hour.
Okay.
So now if you're going for a job that's offering me 10, well, wait a minute.
Just doesn't make sense.
No, I'm going to stay on the unemployment until I can get the job that I really want. A lot of people are furloughed and just hoping to go back. A lot of people lost their jobs because the companies couldn't last anymore. And that's why I keep talking about the landscape, the jobs that we know, the pay that we know, that's all going to change. But I think we're going to handle it. We're going to be fine.
And it just doesn't make sense, I think, for some folks who they say, okay, I'm making $14 an hour and I don't really have to pay for childcare because I'm home with my kids. It's summer, no school, so you have to factor that into the whole equation. That's why it is a case-by-case basis when it comes to this labor shortage. But we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Mike's going to stick around. We'll have more with Mike Holfeld right after this.
This is The Weekly on ClickOrlando.com with Justin Warmoth.
Welcome back. Our guest this morning is News 6 investigator Mike Holfeld as we continue to talk about the Department of Economic Opportunity's Return to Work initiative, which includes cutting off the $300 payment from the federal government for unemployed workers. All right, so, you know, this labor shortage is something that I heard in March from Phil Brown with the Greater Orlando Aviation Authority saying that he is seeing air travel pick up, and he was optimistic about what this summer looked like. His one concern, they could not find the staff for concessions, for other things, and he had this warning in March. So a lot of folks have seen this coming, And now you're getting huge numbers all over. I mean, the airport for sure. And and a lot of their money the airport makes comes from those concessions. And so it's something that I think has been on the minds as this pandemic has evolved, especially here in the state of Florida. As more people got vaccinated, you're seeing more people go out. It's evolved, certainly. And I think business owners have thought, I have to cut staff initially to make ends meet. Now, I just can't hire them back. And that's creating a whole nother dilemma as folks go out to eat and wonder why their service is slow and why they can't get served.
You and I were talking about this during the break. Folks, you've got to be patient because they don't have the staff that they used to.
Yeah.
Some people are slowly going back. You're going to have high school kids that are going to take those jobs. That's the thing. I mean, that should be the theme of the show. Will there be takers for jobs? Because we know the jobs are there now, but who will fill them? So I'm not quite sure if we're going to see a transition from other states to Florida. I think we're already seeing it from California and New York. This is a great place to live. Cost of living is nothing compared to New York, Boston, California. So the question is, will the people be there to fill the jobs and are there takers? We know the openings are there.
Yeah.
The numbers are there, over 400,000.
And this is just a portion. This is the next step in the Make Ends Meet segment that is your segment. And Robert Brewer, your photographer, that you guys have been doing such a fantastic job on. But I'm curious, just over the last year, how this has all evolved. The stories initially and then the stories today.
Listen, we talk about this. I went into the newsroom and went into our news director's office, Allison McGinley, and Jason Olson, our assistant news director, was there. And I said, listen, I think because what we're seeing, we're going to have to help people make ends meet, help them balance the budget because there's going to be cutbacks, hours cut back. Well, we never imagined that places would shut down completely, people would be furloughed for a year. I remember, Justin, I was predicting Labor Day 2020, everything would be over. Well, here we are coming towards Labor Day, and it's still not over. I don't think we're going to be out of this till the second quarter of 2022. How this evolved, though, listen, we thought we were going to help people make ends meet, but we were helping people get people their unemployment benefits, and I don't think anyone expected that. And then we have this unconditional generosity from our viewers, and my hat's off to them, where they were actually giving their checks, right?
Their stimulus,
to families that needed it because they were fine. We never saw that coming. And then what we built very recently was an alliance with Dane Eagle and his team, Emily Oglesby, John Farmer. We have an actual team with the DEO working with News 6 and Make Ends Meet to accelerate these cases because I understand they're frustrated. There's people waiting 14, 15 weeks for benefits. So we're talking about going back to work. These people are saying, well, I've got these bills from the past to pay. So what we've done is we've evolved from trying to balance budgets to help people get unemployment benefits to where we are today, which I don't think any of us had expected.
You guys have, it's like a special line that you call, you're on the speed dial for the DEO. For when you need to help someone, which seemingly is every week, every day.
Well,
you
we're
need some
averaging,
help.
Justin, probably $8,000. Imagine, listen to that number. People waiting $8,000.
Back pay.
Yes.
And you've been able to make that happen.
We're over $1 million now in benefits since we started this, since we started working with the DEO. Remember, everyone started getting cut off in March of last year. We started working very closely with the DEO in April, and it's not stopped. This partnership will continue. And we also have new partnerships. I was telling you this in the newsroom, and I'll tell you all at home now. We're also going to be working with Mayor Dyer and Mayor Demings to get the job news out there. And there's going to be some great news. 400 jobs, 2 companies coming to Orlando with 400 jobs with just 2 companies. And one of them is paying 160%, Justin, above the salary, the average salary in Orange County. That's tremendous news.
Massive.
That's the kind of news we need to get out there because the people at home may not know about it, but we're going to make sure they do. So make ends meet, from balancing budgets to helping people get their benefits, and now hopefully to find work.
And identity theft has been through the roof, and you've done stories on that as well. And if you have any tips to share with folks at home, this could still happen.
It is happening.
It is happening every day.
Listen, what we've discovered, we've also built a partnership with the Secret Service, and we're very close with them, and they're just a tremendous organization. People think about the Secret Service, they think protecting the president.
Sure.
No, there's a cyber task force. They follow the money and theft. What's happening is people are being targeted on these dating sites, and they're being told to send money because my daughter's sick or I need money for help, and they're buying cryptocurrency. So now what's happening, people are being used, and I hate the term, but that's what it is, they're being used as mules to transport our benefits, the American taxpayers' money, to bank accounts across the country, women who believe they're helping someone they're in love with,
Right.
their fiance, and then sending the money out of the country. If someone says, I love you in 30 seconds, and then I'm talking about, well, can you send me money via cryptocurrency? That should be a red flag. I know people out there are lonely, but don't fall for it.
Those stories hit me every time. Just hearing from some of these victims who feel so guilty and ashamed that they fell for this, but it happens all the time. And these are professional actors, essentially ripping these people off. So you have to be very careful.
Yeah, it's scripted, folks.
Yeah, it's
Every
scripted.
line is scripted,
And I'd be remiss not to bring up a fantastic and a well-deserved recognition that you have received. News 6 is a finalist for the National Association of Broadcasters Service to America Award once again, something that you're familiar with. I just want to know, just on a personal note, what that means to you to have your hard work and the station's hard work being recognized at that level.
I mean, it's humbling, and let me just say this. This is the only station in the country doing what we're doing. We're working with Capitol Hill, local lawmakers, and the DEO to help the Florida residents. And what's funny, Justin, is we get emails and calls from people all across the country. Can we help them in their states? So this station, Graham Holding, has given us a platform to help the Florida people and the American people. And I think it's humbling. Just the recognition alone is something that we'll never forget.
And I know we are both baseball
Yes.
guys, and superstition runs real thick when it comes to that. But when can we expect to hear a final word on whether or not we receive the Eagle?
Our sense is somewhere late June, early July.
Okay.
We're hopeful.
Yeah.
But when the pitcher's pitching the no-hitter, we're just going to keep quiet till the game's over.
You never mention it.
No.
You just keep going.
Yeah.
But I know that for you, it's never about the recognition. Well, that's great to hear that your work is being recognized, but helping Central Floridians in really dire situations, helping them get out of that is something I know that you really care about.
We do.
Yeah.
You know, we say get results, we do get results, and for us it's personal because we think that the people of Florida are our extended family and we are there for them.
Now, if you have an unemployment issue, email Mike at makeendsmeet@wkmg.com and he'll do what he can to help you out. You can also sign up for his weekly newsletter by heading to clickorlando.com. I'm Justin Mormith. Have a safe Memorial Day weekend.